Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is William Michael Forbes. I want to welcome you to Shortcuts for Your Soul. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and intuitive life coach. And today we've got Archangel, some call him Lord Metatron, coming through today to talk about mind-altering substances, why we have a need for them, why people are drawn towards them, and why the concept of addiction is so strong on this planet here. And I'm really excited about it because when you think about it, inside all of us is this infinite intelligence that is really, really present with us. It's like beating our hearts right now. It's alive. It's here with us. And the deep natural need we have to be in a relationship to that is innate in each and every one of us, even while we're in the body. We'll get into a little bit more. I want to say good morning, everybody. Good morning, Lysandra. Good morning, Giovanna, Daniel. Oh, this is great. So I might actually be inadvertently simulcasting over multiple channels right now, which is okay. I'm totally dope with that. But yeah, Metatron came in yesterday when I asked the question, why do people have this intense need for addiction? And the response came back from Metatron. People are addicted not because they're addicted to the substance, but because they are seeking reunification with their source. Seeking reunification with their source consciously. And that's pretty fascinating that we're drawn to the experience, the changes in consciousness that we have with mind-altering substances. He says, including alcohol, it's an attempt to get away from the separate self and back into the divine self. He says, unfortunately, these things won't work because they're not the natural energy your body requires in order to do that. He says there's very specific energy you can cultivate from within your body that will enable you to directly and consciously reunite with infinite intelligence within you. This is so important. When he said that, I was like, wow, this is really, really important that within us, we have the ability to cultivate the proper state or chemistry that will allow us to reunite with this infinite source that is within us right now. Just imagine that in each and every one of us, we have the capability to access chemically the awareness of our relationship to that source while we're in an individual body. And there's a whole bunch of things that he downloaded around this. Kundalini breathing, pranic breathing, meditation, anything that will allow you to bring the lower vibrational energies up from your lower self to merge or meet with your higher self. And I find that very fascinating. There are many schools of thought that teach about the Kundalini, for example, which is that was the one that he gave me. Is the Kundalini is the primary energy that's most commonly known. The word Kundalini. Again, I don't know the meaning of the word, but he told me that it's essentially being able to draw up the lower self, the instinctual animal self-consciousness, and literally bring all of that lower self energy up while releasing your attachment to the personality and moving into the awareness of being. And with that lower vibrational energy and the awareness of your being, you unite energetically at the place called the pineal gland, where what they often call is the cosmic cell phone, right? Which is the unity point for all things. Essentially, through the pineal gland, you can tap into any and all dimensions and frequencies, which is inclusive of the creator as a whole. So through that bringing of energy and merging of that energy up here, we have the opportunity to connect. So people are drawn to substances because he says every single human being is innately the exact same way that a sperm is drawn to the ovum. Every single human being on this planet is drawn back to the source. And so it will swim or move any which way we can to get there. Even if it means trying different substances to try and get that feeling, because he stresses to me, it is a feeling of unity. It's a feeling of connection to this infinite intelligence that enables you to know that you are with it and it is with you, and there's no separation. There's just your being that which you are. He wants to stress that the goal will always fail when you're using something outside of your body to try and connect to the divine and maintain that connection. It will always be temporary. That connection will always be temporary. but through the process of learning how to articulate your body system, learning how to spiritualize the flesh, literally bring the lower vibrational desires, like sexual desires, desires for physical sensations, bring all those energies up to unites with the energy in the pineal gland that is connected to all that is. And at that point, if you're using artificial substances to do that, it will always be temporary. You might get a quick blast, but it will always be temporary. Then you have to do it again and again. Then the addiction starts because you got the sensation of that awareness, but now you try to recreate it with an outside chemical. It will not work. It'll only work temporarily. He says it can become a permanent connection between you and your source when you are able to deliberately, from within your own being, bring yourself up up to the heavens. He says you're literally bringing yourself up to the heavens, And he says the heavens is not a physical place. The heavens is a vibrational plane of being. The heavens are a vibrational plane of being. When you hear us say that the angels come down from the heavens, we literally mean that the angels come down into flesh. They come down from a non-physical plane into form where they become perceptible to your senses. And when the angels are perceptible to your senses, you can communicate with us. So please understand that. You want to bring the lower vibrational aspect of yourself up to heaven. You want to ascend your awareness to the heavens. So I find this very exciting and very fascinating that we have it within us. Which now, because I've been going, this is like so much going on right now. The idea that, like, I went through a lot of drug addiction and alcoholism. I went through a lot of that stuff when I was younger, and in that process, I was the motive behind every addiction is the desire to feel better. That's the motive behind every addiction, is to feel better about oneself. But because it's external to who we are, it will always and only be temporary. I know this from personal experience, as I'm sure some of you do, from any addictions you may have had. The ability to access energetically the spirit within you, which is already within you, it's just a matter of being able to tap into that frequency. Thank you. But it should be very interesting. So then I asked him, I said, well, what about getting away from addictive substances? He says, when an individual knows how to elevate their energy, when they experience the elevation of their own energy, when they climb the ladder, that's what your spine is. Your spine is like a ladder that you climb energetically. He says, when you climb the ladder to heaven, the experience you will have there will be greater than anything you can derive from this world. If you are coming from addiction and aspiring to climb the heavens right away, you will find this somewhat challenging. And the reason you'll find this somewhat challenging is because of the attachment you have to the physical world will literally act as a gravitational weight on your awareness and bring you down back into matter. So you'll get very temporary experiences in the beginning, similar to what you got when you were applying yourself with an addictive substance. So you have to reactivate your internal connection to infinite source and reactivate your awareness of that experience and reactivate that sense of non-separateness so that you can feel it wholly and completely. He's saying the word holy, he's using that as Holy. That is the holy place, the temple. This is the holy place. You do not need to look in this world to find the holy of holies. It is within you. All you need to do is know how to climb the stairs. Yes. So very fascinating that we have that within us. So there's different forms of breathing. He talked about Kundalini breathing. There's pranic breathing. He says anything that's going to take the lower vibrational chakra energies and draw it up is going to bring you closer to an awareness of that higher vibration that is within. But because most of us are stuck in the sensation of the senses, it's very hard to perceive anything outside that. So releasing yourself from your attachment to your external world, not to your body, to your external world and the attachments that your senses have to it, you return inwardly. You go back in to the house. This is where you will find home. Cool. Wow. So this is going to be very interesting the way this goes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, artist. Good morning, reflection. Hi, everybody. Yeah, it's going to get crazy. These next, they said the next 8 to 10 weeks are going to be absolutely mind-boggling for some people. So there's going to be a lot of changes on the planet, socially, culturally, energetically. The sun is beginning to respond now to the dominant emotions on the planet as it has been. But now we're going to start seeing the effects of how the global electric circuit and its relationship to us responds to the sun. We are actually observing a phenomena that science can measure. They can measure that certain things happen when the sun does certain things happen on Earth. But what they haven't measured and have never considered measuring is what about the human emotional element and the emotional element of all the animals on the planet and how it interacts with the world around us. So they're telling me that in the next 8 to 10 weeks, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs in the human collective consciousness and unconsciousness, which is why it's so important to become organized and centered and grounded in vibrational frequencies of love, but also actions that are driven by love. That are very different. He says actions driven by love are very different than actions driven by fear. But he says even those, you can get addicted to those. You can get addicted to the vibration of love. You can get addicted to the vibration of fear as you understand them to be in a physical realm, what you call love in your physical realm, and what you call, what you call love in your physical realm is often an externalized perception of a connection you have in this world around you. But real love is a connection you have internally, that you know of, a connection between yourself and all other things from within you. You don't need to go out and get it. So we're going to be making a shift from being externally based beings to internally based beings. He also says this whole COVID-19 thing forced a lot of people who would not normally separate from others, that were stuck in routines that kept them extremely externalized, and gave many of them the opportunity to go back in, to be separate from the outside world, to be reconnecting back to the inner world, to be connecting back to where we are all united in a collective awareness of being. Yes. It's only from that place of an internalized collective awareness of being that you can understand what thoughts and actions will be most conducive to the continued expression and ongoing growth of the human collective. This can only be realized from an understanding from within. Many of you are trying to figure things out there, and this will not give you the truth. This will keep you separate from it. The truth is within you. Cool. So very interesting. These next 8 to 10 weeks are going to be really, really exciting. I'm looking forward to them. I hope that the new microphone is working well, because we're getting a tinny sound. So I hope you've noticed the change in that. And thank you for bringing that to my attention. I really appreciate that. Wow, this new feature I have here is pretty cool. So a question from Giovanna. Is that, can I get that guidance now? I'm grateful for channeling. Yes, Giovanna, I will connect to you after this live event today. For that, I will connect to you after this event. I believe we are connected online as well. Hello, South Africa. Good morning, Kimberly. Hi, everybody. Question from Miriam. What can we do with the fluoride that is being put in our water and other things like toothpaste? That's a great question, Miriam. And one of the things I was given to do a couple years back, when they said they were going to start help me to recondition my body so that I'll be able to perform the job they have me doing here. They said to start drinking 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in a 6 to 8 ounce glass of water in the morning. You'll be amazed at what that does to start reorganizing the calcium in your body. I don't know why, but it does. You want to start doing that. But also, you want to start exercising your pineal gland. Like this, I got a very simple exercise that they gave me about how to actually begin to move and work your pineal gland. If you ever have to go to the washroom, you're holding in from going to the washroom. If you put enough pressure up in here in the cerebrospinal fluid, you'll actually apply pressure to the pineal gland. because you can't compress fluid. So anything around the fluid will get compressed. And when you put pressure on the pineal gland, it's a piezoelectric device. So when you apply pressure to it and release pressure from it, it releases an electrical charge, which is the activation of the pineal gland. And those are the simplest ways in which I can suggest that you can activate your pineal gland and begin the process of decalcification. That's what they taught me to do. And it's a wonderful thing when you're doing your meditations and you know how to activate that gland in there. We go into great detail on how to do that in our mediumship courses, how to begin to activate the pineal gland, how to begin to move the lower vibrational energies up. It's an amazing thing. But we're going to have an amazing 8 to 10 weeks as a collective on the planet. It's going to be really fascinating to watch how these different energies that are on the planet interact with each other. Reflections asking, what is the purpose of the substance called DMT? You know, it's funny you bring that up. I was watching something on that the other day. They call it the God drug. And Metatron's laughing. He said, DMT is not the God drug. DMT is merely a chemical that will facilitate a vibrational plane of perception that will allow you to glimpse or become aware of that infinite intelligence that is all pervasive. But it is, in the last analysis, an externalized substance that you can learn to generate internally through your own use of your body. If you understand how to use your body correctly, you can generate this chemical and make it a permanent part of your biological architecture. Once you've cultivated the mechanism that stimulates the production of that vibration, please understand the vibration causes the chemical. The substance that you've created in this physical world is a chemical that stimulates the vibration in the body, but does it temporarily. DMT is a vibration of unity between yourself and infinite life, infinite being, infinite perception. But each and every one of you has it within your house. He's motioning towards your bodies. You have it within your house, all that you need. This substance is a vibration that you can cultivate simply through your meditations, through proper breathing and understanding of how you can utilize your body as a mechanism of the divine. Cool. I like that. Thank you so much. I'm just scrolling up a bit. Here we go again. A question from Nicole. Why is it I stopped all my addictions down to coffee and I still can't stay in peace and love? Fight or flight always returns. Great that you're down to coffee, Nicole. I've got to tell you, caffeine, I was addicted to methamphetamine, you know. I was addicted to a lot of stuff. Alcohol, Benadryl, a few other things. And I got to say, caffeine was the hardest thing for me to let go of. I don't know why that is. If I asked them why it is, they said because it gets your body going so fast. Because it perceives itself artificially as being chased to death. Isn't that fascinating? That the caffeine in coffee stimulates the body into a flight response. So it actually perceives on an energetic level that it's escaping death, which would certainly create anxiety and fear in your awareness. You'd be aware that your body is experiencing that. Caffeine in and of itself will accelerate your heart rate. It's a diuretic, so it forces your body to release fluids from it. It can artificially stimulate peristaltic movements, which is the evacuation of the bowels, the evacuation of the bladder. So you want to be mindful. You're literally, when you put caffeine in your body, you're stimulating your body into a fight or flight response. You might not be aware of it. You might just you're feeling that quick buzz. I got all that extra energy. But what you're not aware of is your body is in a subjective state to that caffeine where it feels like it's fighting for its life, because the accelerated, the movement of the different systems in the body as they accelerate mimic the fight or flight response. So yeah, caffeine is the hardest one to get rid of, but I'll tell you, when you do get rid of it, there is a clarity, there is a peace that's going to come into your awareness that's just mind-blowing, and it's well worth the time, the effort, and the energy to surrender that. You can there are other things like chicory. You can substitute chicory for coffee, and that's a good transition substance. But you won't escape the reality when you stop caffeine. When you stop caffeine, you're going to go through, your body's going to go through withdrawal symptoms because the adrenals are overworked, and you use the caffeine to keep your adrenals artificially functioning high, just so you've got that artificial energy level. So when you stop caffeine, you're going to go through a period for anywhere from 24 to 72 hours. We're going to have headaches from the body having to adapt to not having caffeine. But after that point, if you're drinking lots of water while you're getting off the caffeine, if you're drinking lots of water, and you're eating good, live, living, vibrant food, like living food that's alive still, not animals, living food, you can transition through the caffeine withdrawals really effectively and easily. Great question, Nicole. Thank you for asking that, because I know a lot of people struggling with caffeine. I know I did for a long time. Wonderful. Thank you, Angela. Question from IM. How much grace will assist us to raise in consciousness? Metatron's first response to you is, you are the grace. As the soul that you are, detached from your separateness, you are the grace that ascends to your Creator's house. You are the grace. It will take all of your awareness. If you want it to be quantitative, it will take all of your awareness being present in this moment, in that place of unity with that. And in that place, you will find the freedom that is always there. You are the grace. The light and the life that is you is that grace. You just need to detach your awareness from this world long enough to remember who you are. Thank you. Louise is asking, I can sense things are about to speed up. I feel like standing on a threshold about to jump into the deep. Does Metatron have any advice for me? Yeah. He's saying, yes, you will learn to swim very quickly, many of you. It is crucial at this time that you begin to understand, or at least comprehend, the practice of meditation, the practice of distancing yourself from your senses, the practice of going inwardly and finding that light that beats your heart, that organizes the substances in your body on your behalf. To reunite with it, you will find the swim will be much easier to manage. For that light that you will join with is the rock on which you may stand. It is the ship that sails the seas of life, on which you may watch the waters around you, but not drown in them. Thank you. He's also talking about the story of the flood. The great flood is metaphorical for human beings as well. The great flood, being able to raise your consciousness above this physical world, to literally float above it, to not be lost in it. And what you're seeing now, he's saying right now, humanity is being overwhelmed by the senses and the artificial nature of the material world relative to what you are. But please engage in the process or practice of meditation, of realigning yourself internally to that infinite intelligence. For remember, your physical body is merely an instrument through which you are expressing and experiencing a dimension of being. It is not the exclusive and only realm for you to exist in. The ark is here. He's saying the ark is here for those of you who have asked that question to us. The ark is here. Cool. The Ark of the Covenant. That's cool. Wonderful. Patricia's asking, Carolyn's asking, I have been meditating and feel that I am progressing. May I ask if this is true? And is there any advice or guidance? Thank you. He said he just answered your question before you even asked, before this one even read it. That's really cool. Sky is asking, sorry, a lot of us have pets. Are they helping us to raise our vibration? Do they have pets in the 5th, 6th, 7th dimensions? He's smiling lovingly. He's saying, this is a beautiful question that you ask. They are not what you would call pets in those dimensions. They're literally sentient beings that, like you, are united, are not fragmented. But these dear ones that you see in this physical dimension, we're here to reveal to you the concept of unconditional love and acceptance, which unfortunately has been taken advantage of. Many of the creatures that you consume, there was a time in your history as a species on this physical dimension that none ate another on this physical dimension, where you all operated in a cohesive harmony together before the advent of fear was brought into human collective consciousness. For those ones that sought to separate from the divine, created wedges between yourself and these other life forms, which you are here to work in harmony with. For each and every single organism on this planet has a function. They are not limited like you to this physical realm, for when the physical realm ceases to exist as an expression for them, they as an awareness still exist as you do when you leave your physical form that you exist in at this time. But they function cooperatively, not in any form of codependence, but in a symbiosis. Thank you. I like that. Great question, Sky. Let's see, go down here. Question from Danielle. I have hypothyroidal condition, and I love coffee. Any suggestions for me? Wow. They're saying if you choose to step back from coffee, do it slowly. Do it slowly, so that your body can remember how to exercise its own natural function. Your natural state is a high energy state. Through your meditations, if you can connect back to who you are and your relationship to source, and begin to receive from within yourself that which you are, you will find that the body will begin to rebalance and align itself to the inner energies, rather than you trying to align your awareness to the outer energies. You don't have to try and keep up to the world. The world is designed to keep up to you. But you must be aligned to the energy within you that allows that process to unfold naturally. Yes. Yes. He's saying some of you may also need to use symbols. Some of you may need to use symbols to focus on, to stimulate different matrices of energy in your biology that will let you liberate your awareness from it differently. Cool. Never heard him say that before. There we go. Oh, by the way, on Saturday, we're going to be going live over multiple platforms, where we now have the ability to multi-stream over different platforms. So I'll be going through both YouTube and Facebook simultaneously on Saturday. So that's going to be very exciting. Tomorrow, by the way, we'll be doing a meditation to begin to activate these energies that are within, to be able to hook yourself up internally rather than externally. Too many people are externally hooked up. They're attached and connected to the external world, and they're drawing their sense of identity from out there. What makes me feel good? What makes me happy out there? And this time is about going back within. And tomorrow the meditation we're doing is bring you back into that place where we can begin to reconnect you to the sacred within yourself. This is so important to be able to do this consciously and deliberately when you need to. I'm just going to scroll here a bit. Okay, here we go. Question from Reflection. Can we heal people physically by connecting with our positive energy and imagination? Absolutely, because you're connecting internally versus externally. They're saying absolutely. If you do it internally, you're going to get a better result connecting to the energy of healing and imagination internally than you will connecting to the process of healing externally. Master Jesus, I guess almost 2 years ago now, when he was showing me about like I'm a Reiki master, and one of the things he said when I was doing a little bit of Reiki on Norma, Master Jesus stepped in and he said, Reiki is not done through your hand. It's done through the awareness of your being in coming into coming into loving communion with that which you wish to heal or correct. So moving your awareness into the place of your body or that the other person's body, moving your awareness in there with the vibration that represents the condition of vitality and health and wholeness and healing. He said the key is in the energy, not in the physical interaction, but what you do energetically. So for me, it literally changed the way I perceive Reiki, in that I now move my awareness into the point of time and space of that person that's requested the healing. And I allow the energy of the awareness of that energy. So the energy of vitality, and I be that, and I become that energy, and I move my awareness into that point in the body that requires that energy, right? Wonderful. Hi, Lori. Thank you for that super chat. Lori's asking, which symbol would Metatron recommend for me? Thank you. So you were the one he was referring to specifically. That's great. He's saying it is what you would call in your world the Star of David, but you must remove the inner separation. If you put the upper and lower triangles together, so it's the upper and lower triangles together, but have the center area clear, it is bringing that which is above and that which is below into a unified whole with no separating junctures within it. So use the symbol of what you call the Star of David, but then remove the interior line, so you just have the exterior symbol of what you call the two inverted triangles, but just the exterior points. And contemplate specifically the space in the middle. Become the space in the middle. Cool. Great question, Lori. Thank you so much. Yeah, if I miss a question or if you want a question prioritized, you can use the super chats. If you're on YouTube, you can use the super chats and connect that way. Where are we here? Question from Luz. Is dyslexia curable? He's smiling. He's saying, yes, this condition you call dyslexia is really not a misfunction or a disease. You have simply come in with the ability to look at things from the opposite side spontaneously. In the process of what you call conventional education, much of the natural abilities and talents you have for learning as individuals has been somewhat watered down and broken, if we could use that term, but you've been cut off through the methodology of conventional education from fully allowing yourself to articulate and appreciate this gift that you call dyslexia, which is the ability to see things from a very different perspective, instantaneously and energetically. From my perspective, I would not call this a problem or something you would wish to cure, but something you'd wish to understand more fully. If you get more deeply embracing of that energy of seeing things differently, rather than attached to the perceptions of others that told you that the way you were seeing things was not correct, you will find a great healing happen for you. Allowing yourself to be yourself without reference to that definition being determined by the outside world around you. And there are literally millions of humans on this planet that have this ability, that have been conditioned by conventional mores of education to suppress and deny that capability, to judge it as being something fundamentally wrong with who you are and what you are being. And this is clearly not true. You have the ability to see things spontaneously and energetically from a completely new perspective. But your conventional systems demand that you be a certain way, that you do a certain way, that you think a certain way. And this is clearly an inhibition to who you are. And I would encourage you to go into the sensations of your dyslexia, the vibration of that essential part of your soul's ability to express and perceive. Learn to honor that aspect of yourself, reconnect to that energy of your being from love and not from the fear that you've been taught to look at that with. Do not let the world tell you to be afraid of that which you are, what you can be and what you can do. Do not be so eager to fit yourself into its image and likeness of you, for you have an image and likeness of you that is divine. Cool. Thank you. Wow, that's a great question. That's a beautiful. Isn't that amazing when you think about it? That we have that each and every one of us has this this ability. We're not meant to all be the same. I mean, there'd only be one of us here if we were all meant to be the same. But that's a beautiful way to view the concept of dyslexia. That it's a natural way we have of viewing the world from a completely different perspective than everybody else. And that not only a different way of viewing it, but that you can actually feel things differently and know things differently because of that. Wow, I'm really excited to see what happens for those of you that resonated with. What happens when you begin to embrace and love and cultivate that ability to be that natural ability to see things differently than anybody else from a different energy perspective? Yes, he's saying it is understanding it's a difference in the way you perceive energetically. Yes, cool. Wow. Yeah, lots of great questions today. Where are we here? So some announcements I want to make. I mentioned the humanity agenda, and we've gotten a few more. It's a matter of we want to bring all the leaders groups. I want to thank the people that are coming and connecting with me about this now, because again, it's not about me or you being in charge. It's about us getting in harmony with a common idea, that we structure and present that idea in an organized fashion globally. Much the same way as you got NBC, ABC, CBS, LMNOP, QRS, and they're putting out their news message every day at 6 p.m. or 9 a.m. or whatever times they do it. We want to put out the Lightworkers news, a daily thing for 5 minutes every day. I don't know what that looks like, how we can construct it, but we want to be universal. We want to get our vibration of light and love happening with the same consistency and organization that the conventional systems that we see existing on the planet now that are based in power and control. So we want to bring the power of divinity consistently and repeatedly to human collective unconsciousness and human collective consciousness. So please continue reaching out to me. I'm going to be compiling a list of people that are coming together now. I got some already, and we'll create a network so we all know and we can all do this. Again, I don't know what it looks like. It's just in the beginning stages. It's like the seed is in the ground. I have no idea what's going to come out. I just know something's going to grow, but I'm not going to do it alone. We're going to do it together. So here we are. Reflection is asking the question, should all humans be in a state of homeostasis mentally and physically? He says this is biologically, you are speaking specifically, your body is naturally meant to be in a condition of homeostasis. However, for your body to be excited and charged up with change is also equally valuable. The conditions of homeostasis, the conditions of excitation, both of these conditions in polarity to each other are useful for cultivating growth and strength in the biology. In your awareness, the same process of homeostasis exists chemically as what you call emotions. That you use these emotions of fear and love to grow, to expand yourself up by learning how to make decisions in relation to these different energies, how to utilize them more effectively. But a condition of homeostasis in and of itself is not something that is ideal to be maintained permanently in the body. When you reach that place in that divine estate, where you are aware that you are one with, as you say, everything, in that state, homeostasis is a natural state of being, but it is dynamically active simultaneously, what you would call a resolvable paradox. It is both active and inactive from the perspective of the divinity, which is something you have inherently in who you are. But from a biological perspective alone, it is important that you be active and inactive in order to maintain a healthy biology. For this realm is based on polarity. This realm is based on movement. Thank you. Great question. Well, wonderful. Let's see. That's correct. You guys have been absolutely awesome today. I also want to remind, if you want to support this work, these messages, these weekly and daily messages, please consider becoming a member of my Patreon page at patreon.com/William Michael Forbes, and become a Patreon. There's special perks for being a Patreon. We do a live monthly event. We do a monthly draw for a free reading with me. You get to ask a question at least once a month of your guides and angels that will channel for you. So please become a Patreon. Join us today. We'd love to have you. Also, upcoming in September 5th, we got our Mediumship 101 course beginning September the 5th, where we actually begin to train you how to connect to and access the guides and angels that are available to all of us all the time, everywhere. And that starts September 5th at 10 a.m., which is a Saturday. And that's a 3-week course. And it's amazing. It's only $199 for the 3 weeks. Repeat students are $99 each, and we hope to see some repeat students there this year as well. Yes, there's, I don't know who's coming in, but they're saying it's very important that you understand the importance and value of love. The importance and value of love as a vibration, not as an acquisition, but as a vibration of what you are. To become very mindful of what that is as your being, and then to articulate that in all your thoughts, words, and deeds. Yeah. Anyway, as life would have it, we are in for the most exciting 8 weeks. And also, Gaia has been saying to me, there's going to be some shaking going on around the planet, increased shaking, in fact, over the next 8 to 10 weeks. There's going to be a lot of changes that are representative of her shaking off the vibrations of fear that many of the Lightworker community have been facilitating. As we anchor the vibration of love and unity and love into human collective unconsciousness, we start to see changes in time-space. Whatever we do within us is around us, right? And that's why it's so important to get internally generated. So you're really, really connecting to who you are. The other way you can support this work is you can use the super chats. When you want to ask questions, you can use that special feature, super chat, and use that to connect in. And for a small donation, you can get your question prioritized, but it also helps keep us growing here. So I gather that the quality of sound was much better today. We got a brand new microphone, so that's actually going to do the job properly. And again, things are going to continue moving along. If there's not any more last questions or concerns, I'll scroll down, see if we've got any more questions. Wonderful. Yeah, 250 million light workers is what they say will literally shift the entire human collective unconsciousness. 250 million, consistent. You know, they always use that example of music. When you're listening to music, you're in a restaurant, or you're sitting down with friends, and suddenly a song catches your mind. You just want to move to the song. The vibrations of fear and the vibrations of love affect people in a similar process. Vibrations of love will induce people into a state, that energy. Vibrations of fear will induce people into that energy. You're listening to a song and you really like that song, you'll find yourself caught up in it, going to it. You're listening to a song you don't like, you won't resonate with it. So putting out a consistent daily message from 250 million different points around the planet will literally shift human collective unconsciousness that much faster than anything we've ever seen. And the 4th and 5th dimensional rays of energy will be able to come more easily into this realm to elevate us up, because we're literally moving to a new state, a new earth of being. And it's a new earth, which is a state of being that's different than anything we've ever experienced as a species for over 72,000 years, right? It'll be very interesting. Wonderful. Hi, Lydia. Thank you for that. Lydia says she's going through a challenging time this week. Are there any messages for me? The first thing they did is they said to breathe. When you find yourself in the moments of challenge, it is so important for you, dear, to breathe with great gratitude, to breathe with great gratitude. You do not have to understand how to correct or fight or change what's going on around you, but it is very important that you connect to the gratitude within you. use your breath, connect to this gratitude. As you do this, as you feel this, you do not have to worry about how it will influence or affect people. You just have to allow it to influence and affect you into that state of gratitude. You do not know what is being unfolded for you yet. Do not get caught up in the symptoms of what it is you are manifesting. You are going through the forest. On the other side of the forest is what you have created. Be patient. Gratitude with your breath. And I would even go a little step further, Lydia, and say, yeah, in the gratitude and breath, like literally when you're in a vibration of gratitude, you can hold that no matter what's going on around you. You'll be amazed what starts to happen around you, because you're not trying to make it happen out there. You're just making it happen in here. As within, so without. As above, so below. Literally, when you get into that state of gratitude, no matter what's going on around you, if you can hold that energy, it literally starts to reorganize events around you. And they've given me lots of evidence and proof of this over the last couple of years where I was in situations where there was animosity and a personal threat to my well-being. And I stayed in a state of love and literally transmuted the situation instantly, right? And when you have something like that happen, it reaffirms the reality that you are the creator of your external experience. You are able to do that. So please do that. Remember, breathe with gratitude and feel. Feel the gratitude. They're saying feel the gratitude. Feel the gratitude. They're pointing here. Feel the gratitude when you breathe. Just gratitude. Allow that to work on your behalf. You do not have to put in so much effort, right? And it's true. A lot of people do that. A lot of people put in more effort than they need to. Effort's beneficial, but when you can energetically begin to change things, like take a deep breath right now, all of you, take a deep breath slowly and exhale and relax and feel what that single breath, how that can take your body into a new state of being. When you're in a new state of being physically, you generate a new state of being or energy around you. And again, it takes practice, patience, perseverance. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining me today for this wonderful message. Thank you for that super sticker, Sky. I really appreciate that. Wow. So, Lydia, let us know how that goes. It's going to be amazing. I'm telling you, it's when you learn to work with energy, it's infinitely different than working with matter. Matter is an effect of a causative consciousness called energy. And when you learn how to work with energy, you're literally altering and changing matter. So important. And yes, the next 8 to 10 weeks, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on with the physical planet and also with the human realm. They're not separate, they're interchangeable. So please understand, when that stuff starts to happen, for the last 2 days, since the Shortcuts for Your Soul on Sunday, I don't know about you guys, but I've literally slept for probably 24 hours in the last 2 days. I've never slept like that in my entire life. So the energies are really high. So if you feel an inclination to sleep or rest, honor that so that you can bring your vibrational frequency up. I've never had that experience before. So your body's literally being altered and transformed by the existing energies that are unfolding right now. And all you need to do is stay centered and grounded in a vibrational frequency of love, a vibrational frequency of gratitude, a vibrational frequency of peace, a vibrational frequency of joy, a vibrational frequency of excitement. Remember, as long as you stay connected to that energy, it will begin to organize matter for you. Just the same way as my thought organizes the hand open and close, so too does emotion organize all matter, right? My guardian angel John told me 8 months ago, emotion is the 5th state of energy, and it organizes all matter. And it really does. It really, really does. So if your world is a little chaotic, become more peaceful and joyful within you, and you'll find that will shift and change. Oh, you're welcome, everybody. So listen, I want everybody to have a wonderful and a joy-filled day. We will see you tomorrow on Supernatural Saturday. We're going to do a really good meditation for help people get into that pituitary, the pineal gland, how to get in there and begin to activate it, to begin to get the sense of how we can begin to stimulate that internal chemistry, to stimulate that internal chemistry, or what some people call DMT, or the divine source energy. Realign your body energetically to the divine. And that's going to be very exciting. So that'll be at 11:30 tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard Time. And I hope I'll see you guys there. Again, we will be going over multiple platforms tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that. So much love, everybody. And thank you so much for showing up today. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.